Hey y'all, hey. It's
Hey.
Wednesday and we are here with Auntie V. And I don't know about y'all, but I feel like we are in a little bit of need of healing.
Yes, yes. As evidenced by our conversation a couple of minutes ago.
Hello.
Yes, because
Goodness.
I'm gonna sit back. Okay, because that's the kind of day it is.
Goodness is I need a good drink. And
Yes, yes. A
mhm.
good drink with maybe one or two drops.
Oh my
In it.
goodness. Oh my
Mm.
goodness. Lord knows it. And it's way past due of coming over to your house. Because the one thing, y'all, that you will find out when you come to Auntie V's event on October 25th is Auntie V knows how to make a good damn drink. Just
Thank you.
mm.
Mm, I do. That's a true statement there. And at the event, I think we have what, four of them, four
Yeah.
or five,
Yes.
five of them, honey.
So if you go to thehealingconsultant.com, the event will pop up on her page and you can see it there.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say is that no matter what, it doesn't matter what type of taste you have, whether it's a little bit of sweet or you like a dry or smoky, whatever, she has got you covered. And before you know it, that cup is constantly full. So she just moves around and just makes sure that you are,
Yes.
your drink is never empty around her. So
Yes, that's what it's about.
yes,
That's what it's about. It's about sharing. It's about sharing your love of each other, of community, of camaraderie, um, and just life.
yes. Oh my gosh,
Life. That's
yes,
what it's about.
girl, good. I cannot wait for Thanksgiving because I'm like, before you even say hello, there's a drink in your hand.
Because you have to set the intention. You have to set the mood for the night, and that is the mood, honey.
Yes.
The
Yeah,
same. Yes.
I'm glad we kind of stumbled on it. But the one thing that I want you to touch on, and we'll talk about this more getting closer to the holidays and incorporating James and Dr. Jens,
Mm,
because the holidays can be a lot for people. It could be a lot, whether it is that, there's some anxiety, there might be a little bit of grieving, or it's just a lot of pressure. The economy is changing rapidly. There's so much happening in regards to how expensive things are becoming. I don't know what parents are going to do this year. Bless their hearts. Um,
yes.
you know,
Those parents are whooping some butt.
woo, are they?
Yeah.
So I know it's going to be a little stressful for people, but what's one thing that you think people need to keep in mind in preparation? Because the holidays are almost here. We're already in mid September.
I know. We're already in September. Um,
Mhm,
I really I really think that as we begin this holiday season,
mhm,
because people are already looking for presents. They're already preparing for October, and then right after Halloween it's on.
mhm. Yes.
Um, and I think what they need to remember is to take time for themselves and
Mhm,
find your peace. Guard your peace and find your peace,
mhm,
whatever that looks like.
mhm,
I think that's really important
mhm,
because it will. And even people um, who have seasonal uh, depression and anxiety around the holidays, even more so,
mhm.
even more so, um, because you have to, you know, I always stop when I say you have to do something because you don't have to do anything,
That's true.
um, but I believe it's imperative that you do,
Mhm.
that you recognize it, you acknowledge it, and you do. Because if you can't function, you can't function for anybody else.
Exactly.
I always say, you can't pour from an empty cup,
Mhm.
and that's what the holidays do. Because
Mhm.
holidays are draining.
Yes.
They just,
Oh,
you just because there's a lot of expectation,
yes.
and I think that people need to not um, put that type of pressure on themselves
Mhm.
because it ain't that serious.
It's not. It really isn't. And
It's
then they come and go just like that.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. It's not that serious. And what I mean by that is that you don't have to get presents.
Hello.
Have to do that.
Mm-mm.
You put that upon yourself. Holidays are meant for you to spend with family and friends and good times and a if you drink, a drink in your hand.
Hello. And
Good evening. That's it.
because we have talked about and even you've mentioned our holidays are not the same anymore. Like we all have had something happen to where what we are used to or what we've done in the past is now altered. So now finding new community or finding new ways to celebrate the holiday are things that we had talked about last year, and we're going to revisit this year just as a reminder, because I know that people, like you said, put a lot of pressure on it. But I can really appreciate the fact of not New Year's, Christmas Eve. We sat, we talked, we drank and ate and did nothing. Nothing. Yeah. Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way I like it.
Mm-hmm.
X and I look at a Christmas Carol. Is a Christmas Carol or a Christmas Carol?
Mm-hmm.
Like the 1920 something version. With the three ghosts of Christmas Eve. Yeah, that we do that. I mean, that's like a tradition. But I mean, it's just eating, sitting around, and either in our onesies, because my Christmas onesie, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because that's what it's about.
Right. Exactly.
That's what it is about now.
Exactly. And I love that. I love, and I hope that people will take that on. And like I said, we'll get into this conversation far more in depth because I do want James to be a part of it, just talking about the mental aspect of it, because a lot of emotions are going to come and stir. And then even just speaking on the topic of people in this single loneliness epidemic that's happening, where people just feel this sense of dread that happens because they don't necessarily have a partner to share the holidays with. So we're definitely going to talk about that, and I want you guys to get in on the healing aspect of making sure that you're taking care of yourself, taking care of your mental, and not feeding into social media or the commercials where everybody's in love and everything is great and all of that stuff.
And they make us sound that if you're not all of that stuff, then something's wrong with you.
Hello.
Yeah, and that's not true.
It's not.
That's not true. And all that is, that's 20 takes for that one beautiful picture. It's hours of them making it look like it's effortless and their lives are wonderful.
Exactly.
Holidays.
Exactly.
That's simply not the case.
It's so not. I definitely, like I said, we'll touch on that more as we get closer to the holidays, because before we know it, Thanksgiving and Christmas will be here. And I want everyone to make sure that they're going into this new season prepared with what they need, and whether that is therapy, whether that's drops, whether that's a drip, whatever it is that you need. I want people to understand that you have an entire army behind you that will ensure that you're going into the holidays well equipped and not feeling tired or anxious or upset, angry, or any of that, but just going in realizing it's just another day. Find your community, have fun, and then keep it moving.
Yes. Because the only difference is that if you choose to, it's more parties. There's just kind of more gatherings. It's moving. It's being with family and friends more intentionally. It's a decrease in the hustle and bustle and the wine, and the life in.
Absolutely.
That's it.
That's it.
And learning how to do that and not putting undue stress on yourself. And I know people have children, and they have events, and they have work, and they have life, and but those are choices.
Yes, exactly.
Take care of your kids, yes.
Yeah.
But you got to take care of yourself first.
Yes, and that's something too that I want to touch on before we jump into a couple of other questions that I had. But this week I really told myself, like, slow down. Like, slow down and do something for yourself. And I booked my massage for tomorrow evening. And I don't do anything less than 90 minutes. I want an hour and a half of my time.
That's right. Because it's gonna make you mad.
Right? Doesn't
It's gonna make you mad.
It's just
Wait a minute. Hold up. I was just getting into this.
as soon as they get good, they be like, all right, and we're done. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. No, we're not. Let me put some quarters back in the meter. Absolutely not.
Exactly. So I'm
That's
like,
a healing consultant that's a healing consultant tip.
yes.
Not 60, honey.
No.
Nothing less than 90.
Nothing less.
You can't do nothing for me.
Hello.
And good evening. You can't do nothing for me with 60.
And then what kills me in some places when they try to be like 50 minutes. What's 50 minutes going to do?
What is 50 minutes going to do for me? Make me mad at you.
Exactly.
That's what it's going to do.
Exactly.
Make me mad at myself for knowing that 50 minutes is not going to do anything for me. So knowing that you cannot be cheap.
Yes.
When it comes to your healing process.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop for a moment because you guys, I have been rolling. Like when I say rolling, it's been one thing after another for at least the past 2 weeks. And September is a very busy month for TDS because it's just one thing after another. And, Coach and I talked about it yesterday. Like it's a lot of good things that are happening. But if you don't make sure that you are taking care of yourself, that you're in the right physical or mental state, then, there's no telling what's going to happen. That check engine light's going to come on and then you're going to get sick.
Well, because I'm going to tell you, because if you don't recognize it, your body will recognize it and you will start breaking down.
Hello?
You will. You'll start breaking down. Figure out what is going on because you're going to pull through it. You're just going to get through it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because let me tell you, this 30-something-year-old body said, now hold on.
Now, wait a minute. I know. You better pump it.
Girl.
You better hit pause.
Ain't enough drops and vitamins in the world for you to supplement your sleep.
Yeah, you're going to drop, fall, and roll. I'm telling you. It's going to be a fire drill for real.
Yes. So if there's anything that I can just put in on your spirit, for this week and even going into next, is just remind yourself, take a moment, do something for yourself. I don't care how small it is or how big, but do something for yourself because this time is moving so fast. We're just so busy. There's so much that, we're coming across on social media and TV and, a lot of things are just demanding our attention. So the least you can do is just take a moment for yourself to, number one, breathe, and then practice some form of self-care.
And even if it's just 5 minutes of you just standing still, being quiet, sit down and breathe.
Yes.
Just breathe in, 3 seconds, let out for, just consciously just breathe. If you have to count to yourself, count to yourself. You can, just breathe in. 1, 2, 3, hold it. 1, 2, 3. And consciously do it. And because it's a reset. And research has shown that it will calm you down.
Absolutely.
I mean, and that's research.
Yes.
Yeah. So so that if you can't do anything else for yourself, if you can't add any, my aroma therapy candle, if you can't do that, if you were out in the street somewhere and you were just like, Lord, I can't.
Yeah.
Stop. You can stop.
Yeah.
Good aisles. I've been in the grocery aisles and I'm just like, I can't do this.
Hello. And I want to ask you, Auntie V, because you and Dr. Jans are healthcare professionals, and we've talked about what happens when you're dehydrated. But what are signs of exhaustion that we need to be mindful of?
Well, honestly, they're honestly about the same, and which is why people have a very difficult time, differentiating between the two, because you're fatigued. You're trying. It's almost like you're running on empty, but you're continuing to try to push through it because you're like, I'm okay. Let me just get through like this next hour of work. Or let me just get through this next thing. So it's dehydration, and it's the same thing because your body doesn't have enough fluid, to to keep your body going. We are made, yeah, of like 98% like, water.
Mhm.
So when you start dehydrating, that's dehydrating your body. It's like any other thing. That's like, going from a grape to a prune,
Mhm.
same fruit. But when you start taking out the water, they become dry and, and shriveled up and, you're exhausted and it's looking all run down.
Looking crazy.
Isn't it no different? And then, and what happens, you put water to it and it plumps up.
Mhm.
And it looks like a fruit.
Mhm.
And you go, "Okay, that's what that was." Same
And
difference.
I want to ask you because of course, on the internet, social media, like they try to tell you all different ways of how to hydrate your body and things like that. And I know you and Dr. Jans have talked about how Gatorade is not effective. It's not really something that you want to, just continuously take in. But what about coconut water? Is that okay?
Well, coconut water is okay, but it's for hydration if that's what you're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Dr. Jans and I talk about, you know, you still have to replace the electrolytes.
Mhm.
You still have to um, have a reasonably good diet.
Mhm.
You have to invest in yourself.
Mhm.
Hydrate, because hydration is not just simply drinking water.
Mhm.
So it's not just simply drinking coconut water all day. But you need nutrients. You need nutrients and you need electrolytes
Mhm.
because that's what's fueling you. That's what's giving you the energy. Which is why you see so many people, the IV hydration.
Yes.
They
Mm.
put the yes,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean that's why people are still trying to supplement, but you have to take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
You still have to be cognizant of the fact that yes, you need water, but
Mhm.
you also need vitamins. You also need your electrolytes. You need all of that.
Mhm.
We are a machine. If and you need not just motor oil. You need gas.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
You need a lot of things to run your engine
Mhm.
because that's what we are.
Mm.
We are very complex machines, but we are machines.
Absolutely.
Ask any professional athlete. I mean, look how they rebalance them.
Mhm.
Before and after, whether we're talking about workouts or whether we're talking about games.
Mhm.
I mean, they have tuned them to well, oil machines,
Mhm. Mhm.
which is why when something happens to them and they break down completely
Right.
because they've got them tuned up. Your body's the same way. Now, we are not world class athletes, but we
Yeah,
run the same.
absolutely.
And we have to, so it's not just water replacement, like I said, because I hate Gatorade. And you know why? Because it's just a whole bunch of sugar.
Mhm.
Just, its intention at the beginning was well.
But
It
now
But now, yeah, but now, touting it as a sports drink,
right.
I think is false advertisement. I'm
Mhm.
put it out there. I
Mm.
think it is.
Mhm.
That drink is nothing but a whole bunch of sugar and letting them kids run on sugar
Exactly.
and then crashing and burning
Exactly.
in the peak and trough and peak and trough.
Exactly. And I want to ask you too, because I mean, this is also a good time to plug the event as well. But when
Yes.
it comes to hydration and just relaxation, and I know Dr. Jansen, you had possible conversations of seeing how we can incorporate CBD, IV, things like that. Um, but what have you ever experimented, or are there some unconventional ways to where people can get CBD in their system outside of just the topicals and the drops?
Do you mean IV form?
Yeah, like IV form, or even if it's just like a skincare sort of regimen. Even you've told us last October you brought in like the CBD treats. So explain a little bit of how people are just making sure that they are getting that supplement in other ways outside of just the topical and drops.
Well, we've talked about lotions and oils,
Mm-hmm.
because that's a form of hydration too.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're hydrating the biggest organ that you have, which is your skin.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
That's
Girl,
the biggest organ that you have.
listen. And you know what? Just real quick, I am so tired of people getting on Beyonce's internet, hooting and hollering at people and yelling all these random opinions, but you just sitting there just as crusty and ashy. Do yourself a favor.
Yes.
Hydrate and get your skin under control. And
Absolutely.
maybe you wouldn't be angry.
Yes, because I'm gonna tell you, when your skin is hydrated and looking all lush and plump and full and just glistening,
Mm-hmm.
that's the biggest organ you have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and when it's hydrated, you are hydrated.
Hello.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's where it works.
Mm-hmm.
So, when we're talking about hydration, we're not talking about just inside. We're talking about inside, which makes you glow, as well as the outside,
Mm-hmm.
from outside in. And so we're talking hydration on multiple points. And I think that's important for people to understand. Is that it's multi-layered, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Very multi-layered.
Mm-hmm.
So, Polo Beyonce, I mean, she all right. She'll be all right. Because she does. She hydrates inside and out.
Hello.
So y'all can talk about all you want to. Like I said, y'all can talk. What Liberace says? He said basically you can talk about me all the way to my bank. I mean, so it ain't bothering me.
Clock it. And I think that's the other thing too. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, just about even our skin and hydrating, because so many people are getting caught up in this whole, oh, I need to have a 12-step skincare, regimen, but not realizing that, hydration, water, a proper diet will ultimately help with your skin, correct?
Because I mean, a lot of foods have water. Watermelon, which may be out of season, is like 99% water.
Mm-hmm.
Your greens,
Mm-hmm.
Water everywhere. Plus, they got vitamins and nutrients in it. If you don't like, cook them to death, but that's a whole different other story. But that's why back in the old days, they used to drink pot liquor. Have you ever heard of that?
No, what is pot liquor?
Oh my God. The juice from collard greens, what in the world?
Never heard of that on TV.
Oh, sweet Jesus. You're not from the South then.
No, pot liquor.
Because we know because anybody from the South know what pot liquor is.
Y'all ever heard of pot liquor? I've never heard.
Yes. Oh, they can't say that. They cannot say they're not. That they have not. They don't know what pot liquor is. Why do you think they call it pot liquor?
I'm sitting here thinking of moonshine. Like,
no, moonshine is moonshine. Moonshine is moonshine. But pot liquor, yeah, it's the juice of collard greens and stuff.
mm-hmm.
You could drink it for if you got like some little digestive issues going on. It was good because it had all the vitamins and nutrients from the greens. Oh, girl, honey, pot liquor, you could just drink that straight, girl. Yes. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Now I'm going to ask people, y'all know what pot liquor is? Because I have never in my life.
You've never heard that before? Never heard that term before? Girl, please. You live till you had some pot liquor. Okay. For Thanksgiving, when y'all come over, you have some pot liquor.
Exactly. And then now,
from the greens.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Huh?
I know exactly what you're talking about then.
Yes. I know somebody have heard of pot liquor.
Yeah, I will have to ask, because like I said, it must be a Southern thing, because I've never heard of that. Never.
Well, you may call it something else, but back home, that's just like
green juice.
Huh?
Green juice.
Oh God, no, it's pot liquor. Oh, sweet Jesus. What is going on here?
What? Immediately, my mind went to moonshine or like a jungle juice or something like that.
No, because those are two separate. You know what because everybody know what moonshine is. And I assumed everybody knew what pot liquor was.
No, never heard of it.
Yeah, and it's basically where most of our community normally boils green to death, but we boil all the nutrients out of the green, so all the nutrients are in the juice, and it's very healthy and very and very healing.
Hmm.
It's called pot liquor. Yeah.
Well, that the more you know, because that I did not know.
The more you know, the more you grow.
Listen, hello and good evening.
The more you know, the more you grow, girl. Hang out with me long enough.
Hello. I, listen, I didn't turn into an adult hanging around you, Auntie V.
Girl. Honey, I can teach. That's why it's the healing consultant. Healing is a lot of levels, honey.
Y'all better clock it. Hello, act like you know. Good,
yes, honey.
And you know I'm gonna be smoking cigars. Like,
yeah, honey. Don't play with me. That's the way it works. So don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm a grown woman now, honey.
Yes, don't do it. So don't play with me. It's the only grown folks over here. The is.
Right.
The only grown people over here that know what pot liquor is.
Listen, I'm trying to get there.
Yeah, understand, honey. Healing is on different levels.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just trying to get people to start introducing themselves to healing themselves.
And that's what I want to ask you too, because you are in this business. Like you've done the research, you continue to do the research, you're staying up to date on the laws.
Yeah.
And I know things are super uncertain right now with our current administration, but if you possibly had a crystal ball, and let's just say in the next 5 years, could you possibly see where CBD has a place, or what CBD may look like, in healthcare, in beauty, or even just in, the mainstream grocery stores, because now we're even seeing in Total Wine and even some grocery stores, now they're having like THC drinks and things like that. So if you had a crystal ball, like within the next 5 years, where do you see CBD going?
Even more mainstream than what it is now.
Okay.
I really do. I think, because Trump he's got other things going on, but he's probably going to deschedule it, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, his reasons for doing it are financial.
Mm-hmm.
Most of his friends want to own a piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so does the federal government, which will lead to, which I think will lead to scheduling throughout the whole country. And I think that I hope my wish is that it will become more regulated, and people become more educated in the next several years to understand the differences between THC and CBD, and both of their therapeutic value. And I have to say that because they both have therapeutic value. And I hope that I think in the next 5 years, people will become more educated, and it will not be it will not have the negative or stigmas that are associated with it. And I think people will understand the difference and understand that CBD is basically has its therapeutic aspects, and that it is a more healing way to go. And honestly, THC has its therapeutic values too. I mean, ask any vet with PTSD, and they'll tell you that.
Absolutely.
Or anyone that's suffering from truly traumatic issues in their lives. THC is absolutely phenomenal about that. Ask people who are trying to come off of hard narcotics. Ask them. Because they're making the switch to CBD. Ask people who are suffering from aches and pains that now their opioids aren't touching. Ask them; they'll tell you. So 5 years from now, I believe that the nation as a whole is not going to have any choice but to. People are demanding it now.
Right? Yeah.
People are they're going to get it. They're going to get it. I don't care if they have to travel somewhere or if they have to come visit my site. But they are, because the consumer is becoming more educated. And I
Mm.
think I think it has started, and I think it's going to continue to drive that conversation to, to not only decriminalize it, but to legalize it.
Mhm.
Because those are two different talking points.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, but I think both of them in the next 5 years, I think, will have to be addressed. And I think that to some degrees it will be.
Okay.
Yeah.
And even to that point of, where it is going and, how it essentially will be more mainstream, how do you even see or how would you like technology to play a part? Because we have things like our watches, we have the Aura rings, we have, the apps and even like AI. So what would you like to see technology? How would you like to see technology blend with CBD?
Two ways. Because I was thinking about this. I would like for, just as you have a Fitbit,
Mm-hmm.
that tracks your fitness, I would like to see AI and the development of apps actually help a consumer or help a person track that, understand, track the benefits of them taking CBD. And
Mm.
what I mean by that is saying, okay, I've incorporated CBD, which is working on uh, my CBD1 and CBD2 receptors. I'd like to know, like, how is that integrating? How is that working with my diet plan, with my, with things like your
Mhm.
hydration, because we're looking at a holistic viewpoint of
Mhm.
your healing. And I think it would be great to have an app or other tools that AI can help you build upon,
Mhm.
to incorporate every aspect of your life,
Mhm.
including your usage of CBD or THC.
Hmm.
That's what I would like to see, because when we're talking about um, a balanced approach to your healthcare and a more holistic approach to your healthcare, just in general, I think that CBD has to be in that conversation.
Mhm.
It has to be, because it does supplement, the endocannabinoid system that you have in your body. It's a system, and
Mhm.
it does help with that. And so why not incorporate that with with all the rest of the apps and everything else that tracks your sleep,
Mhm.
and that's a good one too. Because, when you're winding down with your CBD gummies at night, your Delta 8s or your Delta 9s, or a combination of like your CBNs and your CBDs, and, to get to sleep. How does that um, deal with your, for lack of a better word, like your restful sleep, your REM sleep,
Mhm.
those hours where you sleep sound? Because I would love to see that data,
Mhm.
because I think it would be remarkable, because every person that uses my products, like the Delta 8, to go to sleep, rave about their sleep,
Mhm.
and how well rested they feel the day after, the morning of. I think those type of integration with AI and apps, I think would revolutionize um, the way people look at CBD, the way
Absolutely.
they incorporate it in their everyday lives,
Absolutely.
and understanding the benefits of it
Mhm.
in lieu of certain things,
Absolutely.
like your narcotics,
Mhm.
um, or or the pain scale levels,
Mm.
or harm programs where people are transitioning from opioids and hard drugs,
Yes.
using CBD and THC to transition into
Mhm.
something, into rehab programs, and to better health for them, and getting off of their addictions, because
Absolutely.
there's remarkable work with that. But actually having AI and the technology to actually track that, and having people have the ability
Mhm.
to do that, I think would be fascinating.
Absolutely. And that leads me to my next question, because once again, we've said it before, like you're a healthcare professional and you're seeing how, things are moving and changing and all of that.
Mhm.
So is it possible for CBD to be, even more integrated into the mainstream medicine or like even in prescriptions or hospital care? Like, do you foresee that being something that they ultimately go to?
Well, yeah, I mean, you see pharmaceutical companies right now, they're making synthetic THC and CBD.
Mhm.
So they're doing it now, um, trying to trying to make profit. The only bad thing is that people don't like the side effects of synthetic drugs.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, veterans to this day are fighting to get THC on VA formularies so that they can purchase it from the VA,
Mhm.
or so that they can get their scripts from the VA, and they acknowledge its therapeutic benefits for them. So yeah, I'm hoping that, see, but pharmaceutical companies have to make a profit,
Yeah. Mhm.
and and that becomes a legal issue,
Mm.
which is one of the reasons why I think President Trump is thinking about descheduling it,
Uh-huh.
um, because there's big business in it,
Mhm.
um, and we know that minorities have often been penalized,
Mhm.
and because of their usage of it, and everything from not just usage but growing. I mean, we are innovative people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you they're just trying to take over an industry that was built again by us.
Right.
Um, so I think that pharmaceutical companies and companies like that are just trying to figure out a way that they can take advantage of that.
Gotcha. And then once they can, then it's like, "Oh,
Once
let's
they
turn
can,
out
it's
the
game
light."
on.
Yeah.
Once they can, it is game on. because because they do. They have lobbying power.
Mhm.
Um, because there is there's several marijuana lobbyists
Mhm.
up in DC.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I mean, it's been going on for years, but just as soon as they can figure out um, how they can take all that money that those big companies, big CBD companies in Colorado and California and all those states, as soon as they can figure out how to empty out those vaults that they have, they'll be on it.
Mhm. And
Yep.
fair enough. And then do you foresee even like sports medicine, because we have said multiple times on this show how effective your roll on is, how effective your salve is when it comes to injuries. We've had people even talk about how it benefits them down to nerve damage. So do you see where that might be something that they immediately go to, where it's just like, okay, now we have these salves, we have roll-ons, we're going to do this before we try anything else when it comes to recovery?
Yeah, they're going to stick to topicals probably first. That's
Mhm.
that's going to be the introduction. And it like John, tried it, who, was a
Mhm.
professional athlete. Um, and he gave us a testimonial, about how great it is.
Mhm.
But I think it's going to be the players and maybe the trainers, pushing that narrative, and getting and understanding that it's topical. But I think the realm of professional sports will be topical first, and because they're still going to have to, um I'm not going to say justify, but
Mhm.
still going to have to explain um inhalational usage,
Mhm.
the THC um aspect of it, because with the whole
Mhm.
health kick, they don't see a benefit in that. I do, because bless their hearts, you know the advantage of them getting high, for lack of a better word, is that, you know, especially like I said, on a professional level, you have to have a break from that.
Mm.
You have to have, whether it's just an hour or 2 hours, you have to have a way to still be yourself, but have the ability to for your mind to slow that down a little bit.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's anything bad with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you need it.
Mm-hmm.
I always say, ask a vet or ask somebody that suffers from PTSD. It's imperative, and that's a part of healing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a part of healing, because you can't tell me that, on that, I don't know, any given Sunday, that if you're a professional athlete, no matter what sport that is, and you are physically beat down, bruises, bumps, contusion, whatever's going on, that you don't need a couple of minutes or an hour or two while you are in that ice bath, while you are being worked on physically, that your mind doesn't need a time for relaxation.
Absolutely.
You can't tell me that that's not beneficial and that's not healthy.
Absolutely. 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 And even thinking about that as far as getting in a mind space or a mindset of relaxation, one thing that we talk about all the time, and continue to talk about, is just the stigma associated to CBD, and how people immediately think like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get high. I'm going to do this. I'm going to have an overdose. I'm going to die.
Yes.
All the horrible things that you could possibly think about,
Yeah.
associate with, CBD, THC, all of that. So
See, that's bad. I mean, see, that's folks who have gone out and they've tried something that, their uncle or their aunt or their cousin told them to get at the cotton picking gas station, and you don't know what's in that. So let's be clear about what's going on here.
Exactly. You didn't put something in your mouth where you don't know at all where this came from.
Yeah.
Who did what to it?
Clear on this. Okay. Before we start that, let's be clear. You're not investigating what's in that stuff.
Right.
Because if you're getting high off of it, I guarantee you there's a high dosage of THC, because that's what gets you high.
Exactly.
And it's just an altered state of mind. But I mean, it's not like people, like I said, I have a problem with that, because people, depending on the strand, but we're not having that conversation. But that's not this conversation. But depending on the strand and depending on how it's grown, depending on what what additives have added to it. See, this is why I truly believe that responsible growers and responsible businesses should do exactly that. Be responsible for the content and the brand and the strain that they're putting out there.
Absolutely.
So that people don't have those type of, bad trips. And that they're not testing positive, at work. Let's just be honest.
Absolutely.
Let's just be honest.
And even with all of that in mind, and as we, approach the early millennials, Gen Z, and all the stuff like that, do you feel like there's going to be a shift in mindset when it comes to stigma and debunking myths as the younger generation starts to possibly incorporate CBD in their day-to-day, or do you even see them gravitating to CBD?
Yeah, of course they are. Yeah, but see, they just don't know the difference. Because because for a lot of people, the ideal, I guess, balance for them, probably either what we call a 1-to-1 or like a 2-to-1 ratio, meaning you may have, 50% CBD and 50% THC, or 75% CBD and just like maybe 25% THC. And I think that the young people, because I think they're honestly probably more educated than most of us about it, to be honest. Because I think that they understand. I think they're beginning to understand the difference between the two.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that because they're becoming more educated about it, um, like I said, it's not your grandmama and your grandpapa, marijuana. That's
Right.
not because they understand that. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that they do. I honestly think sometimes they do a better job at it than we do.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. Because
Absolutely.
I think when they're smoking, they are smoking to get away. They're smoking to detach. They know exactly what they're doing.
Oh, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be, oh, well, that was kind of a byproduct.
Mm-hmm.
But no, they know exactly what they're doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then how would you like to see, because we have so many communities of people that that are suffering from things that are incurable. We have mental illness. We have an array of things in communities and organization and groups. But how would you like to see CBD incorporated in those spaces, or what does that even look like for you?
Well, I think that's what I try to do. That's what I've been trying to do at the very beginning
Mm-hmm.
of this journey for me is putting CBD in healing spaces and using it in therapeutic ways.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what we always say. We always say, if you're trying to get high, this ain't it.
Right. Right.
And why we say if you're trying to get high, this ain't your place.
Mm-hmm.
Because the company has always been, and it is rooted in a healthy therapeutic healing aspect of CBD.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's always been about.
Mm-hmm.
And having a safe space for you to have the ability to incorporate it into
Mm-hmm.
everyday life. So
Mhm.
that's the communities, the people that are looking for a more holistic way to take care of themselves, and in return have the ability to take care of others.
Mhm.
Um, that's what it's always been about. So the company is founded on that. Yeah, is speaking to communities and to people who are suffering in a variety of different ways, who have tried, conventional ways
Mhm.
of taking care of their issues, and are like, look, can I, let me find a safe place. And as I said, I've done the research because I've been there. I've been there, and I
Mhm.
continue to have that journey with them.
Mhm.
Um, and like I said, I can't get high. So
Right.
that's not an aspect of my professional career.
Exactly.
Um, and I know that there are more people out there who have that same thing, but who still want to enjoy the therapeutic aspects of CBD.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Those communities that I'm looking to touch.
And if there were no, barriers or anything like that, like right now, right as we speak,
Yeah.
what is your dream product that you would love to be able to have?
Mm. I would, because I'm still thinking about um, some sort of patch
Mhm.
that would be extended release,
Mhm.
so that you can just kind of have that steady balance without having to, for lack of a better word, like microdose or redose throughout your day. I think that would be lovely because I think it would help people. And I'm not going to say a pain patch because I don't like that, because pain patches are lidocaine based,
Mhm.
and that's not what we're not talking about numbing. We're talking about healing,
Right.
not numbing. So I think that's one thing that I think would be I think would be kind of an ideal product for people. But the truth is I don't think it's one. I think it's incorporating all the five senses
Mm.
in a person, and activating or enhancing or triggering those aspects, and having the ability to bring yourself an elevated sense of peace and joy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And whatever that looks like for you.
Mhm.
Your joy can be just coming home
Oh,
and and having 5 minutes of unacquired time when, when you need your sense of smell to be, to be activated. You need, you need music.
Mm-hmm.
You need music therapy. You may just need to just chill just for a minute. Have just like a half a glass of wine with with a drop or two in it. And just level yourself out or bring yourself down. That may be all you need.
Mm-hmm.
You may be going around with your half a glass of wine or whatever, and have your couple of drops in there, going about your business,
Mm-hmm.
understanding that in the next 40, I say about 45 minutes, maybe not even that long, about 30, you're going to begin to say, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
Absolutely.
That's, so I want to be able to have products that you craft, you design what that peace and that joy looks like.
Mm.
It's different for every person.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
speaking of that, just talking about, experience and all of that,
Yes.
you have a couple more minutes.
Yeah.
Talk about your event on October 25th.
Oh, yes. Our little sip and pairing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about it. Because if you visit the website, you know the food.
Mm-hmm.
And we have worked, I've worked with Justin and Miss Felisa
Mm-hmm.
to come up with just a succulent and just inviting and tantalizing
Mm-hmm.
pairing of drinks and appetizers that are just paired, because we've done a lot of thought,
Uh-huh.
a lot of meaning, and a lot of intention
Mm-hmm.
on the journey that we are going to take you on
That's right.
that whole afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be interesting, it will be delightful, it will be elevating, it will be a journey,
Mm-hmm.
a healing journey, to show you how how you can pair things together and come up with something amazing. So that's kind of like the little teaser,
Absolutely.
amazing.
Yes.
Mm.
And I want you guys to go to the website, head on over to the Eventbrite,
Mhm.
because this is something that Auntie V has put together and specifically crafted a menu that, fits everyone's, taste and style. We have a little bit of something for everyone.
Yeah.
But the whole purpose of the night is for you to be able to learn that CBD can be infused in your food, in your drinks. You will have a safe, relaxing time. It's going to be a phenomenal environment that everybody needs to be a part of, of course, 18 and up. But well, no, let's push that up. 21 and up, because there will be, alcohol.
Yeah.
But we want you to know that you can relax and have a good time, and there is not going to be any harm. You're not going to be high.
Oh no.
That's not going to happen.
No.
So just as a quick, overview of what she has. So there's going to be a cucumber tea sandwich with a cucumber fresh drink.
Mm.
There's going to be beef Wellington with a dark and smoky drink.
Yes.
Then there's the crab cake with the chili mango punch.
Yes.
There's crispy fried tofu with a vodka thyme lemonade. So for those of you, oh yeah, we got you covered. If you don't eat meat, vegan, we got you. And then for dessert, there's a chocolate cake with coffee. So there's a little bit of something for everybody. It looks like there's also going to be an infused mint iced tea and lemonade.
Yes, that's a little surprise, honey. Because we're having it at the American Underground up on the rooftop. So yeah, as you come up the elevator, something to kind of start your day, start the evening off right.
Yes. So
yeah, it's gonna be nice.
Make sure you guys come out. It's going to be October 25th. It's from 7 to 9. Auntie V will be there. You'll be able to, ask any of the pressing questions that we don't typically address.
Justin, the chef.
Yeah.
The chef.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So Justin, the chef, will be there. And it's going to be a night of, great music, great food, great drinks, really just, focusing, like I said, on relaxation. She'll have her products there. We'll be doing some raffles. So it's going to be a fun night. And y'all need to be there.
Yes. And it is. It's going to be an educational night.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's just say we're just going to set a nice, sophisticated, elegant evening
Mm-hmm.
for you to be able to taste and experience.
Absolutely.
To taste and experience. That's all.
And Jay, I'm sorry, it's October 25th. Let me grab the link so you can see the Eventbrite.
And that's all we're gonna say, because we don't want to say too much.
I'll make sure you got it so you can see it. But yeah, you definitely need to be there October 25th from 7 to 9 p.m. If you guys have been to any of our events, it's going to be at American Underground. So you know where that is. Just know that you're going to have a really great time, and you need to be there. Tickets are on sale right now as we speak. And for any more information or whatever questions you may have, hit up Auntie V. She'll take care of you.
Yes. Go to the website. Get your tickets, because they are limited now.
Absolutely.
It's limited because can't everybody experience this.
Hello. I'm dropping the link in there now. There we go. So the link is right there. So you guys can go ahead and pop that in.
Yes.
Your browser and check it out. But yes, an evening of infused pairings brought to you by the Healing Consultant.
Yes. And y'all, be right. Because it's gonna change your mind.
I know that's right.
It's gonna be enlightening.
So with that said, Auntie V, just let people know how they can find you, how they can follow you, and how they can love on you.
Yes, honey. thehealingconsultant.com. All my social media. The Healing Consultant, the Healing CBD. Oh my God. You can find me on TikTok, on Facebook, on all social media.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there, honey. I'm there. And you need to be there.
Hello?
Yes, and good evening.
With that said, family, we appreciate you. Hopefully you guys learned something. And as we started off the show with saying, make sure that you take care of yourself. Do something nice for yourself this week because you can't pour from an empty cup.
Cannot pour from an empty cup.
So with that said, we are getting up out of here. And Auntie V, James, and Dr. Jans will be in the building the week after next. We'll have the consultants in, and we're really going to do a deep dive into your healing.
Round table.
Hey now.
Hey. Talk about. Talk to me like you mean it.
Hello. All right, family. You guys have a good one, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.